as far as wiretapping, I guess, by this past administration, at least we have something in common, perhaps.
President Trump saying he might have some common ground with German Chancellor Angela Merkel because he, too, was wiretapped by President Obama. That, of course, is an accusation contradicted now by every major intelligence leader in the government. Merkel apparently seemed unamused by President Trump's remark, although it's tough to tell. She generally has a poker face. But she was actually surveilled by the NSA during the Obama administration. Maybe that's what her expression was about. The panel's back with me. Jen, you were the former communications director for President Obama. I don't know if you've spoken with him recently, but I know that there is no credible source that says this allegation is true. How is President Obama taking this?
You know, I worked for him for 10 years, and he has dealt with a lot worse than some unhinged tweets on a Saturday morning. So I think he's like many people, where he's looking at this situation thinking, what is this about? Now we're starting to reach a phase where the credibility of the President of the United States, regardless of your political background, is starting to be questioned, and he's put that in place himself. So I expect tomorrow, when Comey testifies, this will be put to rest. I don't think President Obama is waiting for an apology. We can stop talking about that. But there are some questions here about what President Trump is doing to his own credibility around the world, and that's a real problem for our national security and for our position around the world.
Congressman, let me ask you, because I think you and I agree that it would be great if we didn't have these tweets and we didn't have these conspiracy theories and we could just talk about policy, sure, Obamacare replacement, et cetera, more and more. Right. Do you ever get up and say, oh, please stop? Do you ever say that to yourself?
There are times that I think this is not something I would have done.
I'll take that as a yes.
And, you know, I'm one of those, and maybe it's the Southern in me, Bakari. I just say sometimes the less said, the better.
Bless his heart. And
but you're somebody who you left the Senate to go in to focus even more on policy, right, at the Heritage Foundation, and I'm sure you would love to be only talking about policy this morning, but now I'm asking you about this apparently false conspiracy theory that President Trump put out there. Does this bother you as a conservative voice in Washington, D.C. that wants to talk about the issues, the things that President Trump can theoretically actually do for the American people?
Well, obviously we don't like distractions, because there are a lot of things we can do to get Americans back to work, get our economy going, deal with our debt, and that is going to involve a lot of activity in Congress. I just see this as something that Congress is going to look into. I don't have access to the classified data. I don't know what President Trump has seen. So hopefully we can just keep this on the side, keep Congress working on it, get Obamacare repealed, get some tax reform and tax cuts going, and get some of the regulations off the back of business. That's what the president's here for. So that's what we work on.
The biggest problem with this is that the President of the United States lied. And we can beat around the bush and call it whatever we want to call it, but the President of the United States lied to the American public. And even more troubling than that, we found out that not only does he just get his news from Fox, but he actually gets his foreign intelligence from Fox.
Well,
and that's even more troublesome.
Because, I mean,
these are words that
pushing a little bit too far
This
there.
is what he stated, though. I mean, I'm not making this up. I mean, we can go back and, as they say, roll the tape.
But, Bakari,
this is not the first
Intel
time.
Committee, we don't know. Let's let the Intel Committee do their work and find out what the entire process is with Russia, with all of this,
but the question is simply,
tapping other people or
did the
people.
44th president of the United States wiretap Donald Trump? Yes or no?
Let's let the Intel Committee do their job, and then let them opine on it, and then be able to have a discussion.
I will say this, Bakari.
People want us to
President Obama
look at
politicized every agency. Nothing would surprise me. So I'm going to withhold judgment. Let the Congress.
You think the president? It would surprise you if President Obama committed an impeachable offense?
Once I've seen what he's done around the world through our State Department, what he's done with his agencies to push a political agenda, Jake, no, there's not much that would surprise me.
I mean, I have to say, with all due respect, that politicizing agencies is exactly what President Trump is doing, which is questioning what the Department of Justice has done, which is exactly what he's doing in this case. He questioned the intelligence community and the root of what they have done over let me finish. Over the course of time, I realize that's a Republican talking point, but I don't think that's what we're seeing happening. What we've seen happen over the course of the last few years.
What we're seeing is that we have Republican leaders here. We have Republican leaders here at this table that refuse to call Donald Trump's lie a lie. This isn't the first time. Donald Trump came out and said he said 3 to 5 million people voted illegally. They did not.
If something was said improperly, then you apologize for that and you move on.
It's more than an apology, though. It's about our position in the world, and that's why it's
this is a huge distraction. We need to get on with the business of the country.
Yes, that's exactly right. People want to see delivery. The deliverables are getting Obamacare off the book, reforming the tax code, securing this nation, looking at retirement security.
I get that, but it's President Trump that is doing this. I mean, he talked about it on Friday in front of Angela Merkel.
And the American people would like to see Congress and the White House, the administration, working together to address the issues that focus on them.
They would also like the president to tell the truth, he and the White House.
All right. You guys can continue this in the green room. It sounds like it's going to continue. Thanks one and all for being here. Really, really appreciate it.